the air thick with the anticipation of the match. The crowd buzzes with excitement, their eyes fixed on the court. Amy stands at the edge of the court, her racket clutched tightly in her hand. Sweat trickles down her temples, but it's not from exertion, it's from fear. The announcer's voice booms across the stadium. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the court the rising star of women's tennis, Amy Davis. The crowd erupts in cheers, but Amy feels a strange disconnect. The cheers seem distant, muffled. Her heart races, a frantic drumbeat against her ribs. "You can do this, Amy," she whispers to herself, but the words are hollow, devoid of conviction. She takes another step, then another. Her legs tremble, her knees weak. The court seems to tilt, the world swaying precariously beneath her feet. "You're not good enough," a voice whispers in her ear, a cruel echo of her self-doubt. "You'll never be good enough." The image of her biggest rival, a fierce competitor who always seemed to outshine her, flashes before her eyes. "She's better than you," the voice insists. "Always has been, and always will be." Amy stumbles, her vision blurring. She sinks to her knees, the weight of her self-doubt crushing her. The cheers of the crowd fade into a distant murmur. The bright lights of the stadium seem to mock her, highlighting her failure. She lies on the court, tears streaming down her face, the dream of victory slipping further and further away. The taste of defeat is bitter and familiar. "Second place," she whispers, the words tasting like ashes in her mouth. "Always second." Richie hunched over his laptop, code flying across the screen. He's exhausted, eyes bloodshot. A tray of beautifully decorated cupcakes sits on his desk, a gift from his eccentric neighbor. He takes a hesitant bite. Richie experiences a euphoric rush. Colors seem brighter, and music is more vibrant. He feels confident and witty, his anxieties fading. He finishes a complex coding project in record time. Richie lies on the floor, his body contorted in a grotesque parody of sleep. His breathing is shallow, his skin clammy. He's in the throes of a bad trip, the drug no longer offering escape but instead unleashing a torrent of terrifying hallucinations. Colors swirl and morph. He hears a voice, a booming, echoing sound, yet strangely intimate. "Dude, are you still trying to get zonked off your mind?" Richie tries to scream, but no sound escapes his lips. "You're trying to escape hell on earth, but you're selling the joy that you will have, the joy you have to enjoy all the joy at once. You're standing on a platform in space, crumbling, exploding into smaller and smaller bits with every hit. The hallucinations intensify. He sees himself, fragmented, shattered, each piece of him drifting further and further away. He sees his past, his friendships, and his dreams, all slipping through his fingers like grains of sand. You're killing yourself, Richie. Slowly, agonizingly, you're killing yourself." The voice, though stern, carries a strange undercurrent of compassion. Richie, amidst the chaos, feels a strange sense of clarity. He sees the drug not as a source of escape, but as a weapon of self-destruction, slowly eroding everything he held dear. The laptop screen glowing eerily. He typed a farewell message. Rock bursts through the door, startled by the sight of Richie clutching a handful of pills. He lunges forward, knocking the bottle from Richie's grasp. Richie's eyes wide with despair, staring vacantly at the ceiling. Rock's face was a mixture of horror and disbelief. Richie collapses to the floor, the sound of sirens fading in. The fluorescent lights of the convenience store hummed in Amy's ears, even as she stepped into her small apartment. A mountain of laundry loomed by the door, and the dishes in the sink looked like they'd been there since the last ice age. Exhaustion, a familiar companion, settled heavily on her shoulders. She kicked off her shoes, the sound echoing through the empty apartment, and sank onto the worn-out couch. The TV flickered on, but all she could focus on was the throbbing ache in her feet and the gnawing emptiness in her stomach. She sighed and opened her laptop, intending to mindlessly scroll through social media. Instead, her eyes fell upon a music production software she had downloaded months ago, a fleeting whim that had quickly been forgotten amidst the demands of her job. Curiosity piqued, she clicked on the program. The interface, a bewildering array of buttons and sliders, initially intimidated her. But then, a strange sense of calm descended. She started experimenting, clicking on different sounds, layering them, and adjusting the tempo. The initial sounds were chaotic, a cacophony of discordant notes. But slowly, a melody began to emerge, a fragile, tentative sound. Amy, engrossed in the process, barely noticed the passage of time. It was like unlocking a hidden part of herself, a part she thought she had buried long ago. And as she listened to the music, a sense of wonder, a sense of possibility filled her heart. She had found her voice again, not with a guitar, but with a keyboard and a mouse.